It is over. Oh, thank God, it's finally over. What am I talking about? Uniball is over. There's nothing left. There's nothing left. It
Well,
is
there's
now.
varsity games left.
The varsity games don't count. We've already been through that. Um, I've already said they don't count. They don't count. I'm not going to report on them. Therefore, they don't count. They're not in my sphere, so I don't care. But Brit Ball is back. Senior Ball, if you play Uniball, it is back. Week 1 has just been and gone. We're going to go through it, and we're going to look to the future, to week 2. We're not stepping on any Breens' toes. Don't worry about it. It's fine. But we've got some other stuff we're going to go through. I was at the All-Stars game, closest I'll ever get to an All-Stars pitch, but I was there. I was there. And then we go to... No, actually, they were all quite nice to me. So.
Oh, you said you got recognised. Tell us, because you didn't elaborate.
Yeah, just someone from Imperial recognized. Someone from Imperial recognized me. He said, he likes the show, and then I just had a brief chat with him, like, because I didn't get an answer whether or not Imperial squad size was that's like 24 a year when they faced Portsmouth. And he was like, yeah. He said in the first game they showed up with, I think he said maybe 22, maybe the league minimum, and they won. And then he in jest said, it's nice to have a celebrity here. And that went straight on my fucking Tinder account, ladies and gentlemen. Straight on, boff. And I'm on my phone right now, and I can see in the top left bit of the bar on my screen, got a new match. Unfucking believable. Thank you, Imperial. And then we're going to go through. Hayden's got a varsity game. We're going to have a brief chat about that. He's probably, if you're from Solent, I'll switch off for that because he's probably going to slag you off. But then, ladies and gentlemen, in a slight change to the schedule, we're not going to do the Brit Ball, the Gridiron, not the Gridiron, for fuck's sake. The Sport Tank Awards.
Good.
Damn.
You dead named us.
Damn. It didn't tell me, brother. We're not going to do the Sports Tank Awards this week. We're going to do them next week because we want to have more submissions from you guys. So we're going to put up social media posts tomorrow saying comment on all of the categories that we have. Hopefully, no one's going to insult anyone's wife and get a slap to the face, but with Uniball,
we've got nominees, haven't we? Like, we've got that. Are we allowed to share that yet, or is that being shared with the post?
That the nominees are going to be shared at the end of the show, Steve.
Hello, all right.
They're going to be shared.
I'm trying to eat my dinner.
Right. Well, yeah, it's going to be shared at the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. So, to get into it, ladies and gentlemen, let's wrap up. Let's wrap up Uniball. All Stars was this weekend, ladies and gentlemen, and it was a game. It was certainly a game that happened. It wasn't interesting until the fourth quarter. I'll say that now. The fourth quarter was very, very spicy. It was the North, got no points, scored a touchdown. Then some, and I know it's the watershed's been gone, but we don't swear too much. Some fuckery in the end zone from the South led to, instead of taking a safety, they let in a touchdown. So it got to 13-17 with not long left. Yeah. Maybe I think 2-minute warning had just been and gone.
Was it successful onside kick, wasn't there?
It certainly was, and it was mad. It was popping off in Coventry, ladies and gentlemen. It was popping off in Coventry. We were all going mad because we were all sort of starved because I was there.
It was biased.
Oh, it's because I was sat with the Lincoln Colonials, and one of our own, number 18, Jamal Alvarenga, was running back for the North, and the carries weren't going far. Just the North. So we wanted him to win, and in the end, just an interception thrown, and the MVP of it was Bournemouth's own Alfie Burks. And you know what, Coach Rains was on.
Friend of the show.
He was singing his praises, and I can now say that I fully understand what he means. He's won the MVP in his fresher year, which is madness. Their Div 1 chance. Sorry, Hayden's here. Your Div 1 chances are very going up. You're going to have some very interesting games.
It's what the guy said last week. Like, the confidence is still there, even for next year. Like, we haven't started.
Also, to have a QB like that for another few years, that's amazing.
And that's his first 11v11 season as well. He's
a madness. And the brief time I spoke to him, really nice guy as well. Unbelievable stuff. But yeah, I mean, as I said to Coach Rains, it might change my mind about that Liverpool score. And I said Liverpool would beat Bournemouth. It might change it. It hasn't, but it might.
Why? It's a why.
Why? Why? Oh, I've already been through it, mate. Because Liverpool just got a bit more. You're a bit too flashy, your squad. A bit too
flashy.
Bit too flashy. Bit too
I
for
run
your
a
squad.
game
Bit too
with them all.
flashy.
I run again with them all.
Yeah, a bit too flashy. I like Liverpool. They got grit. They're all angry up there.
Yeah, but you, it's not like flashy stuff. Our football, the run game. People can't stop the run game.
Right, you're letting your secrets out now. They're going to shore up the old D.
See, look.
Shut up, Alfie. No one cares. Shut up, Alfie. No one cares, mate. Hey, Alfie, tell me what you're going to tell me. Tell me what you're going to spend that £100 voucher on. Tell me, are you going to get a new gloves? One new quarterback glove.
He doesn't wear gloves.
What am I? The Alfie Burke's autobiographer? How am I supposed to know that?
He'll get a bit more supreme gear probably.
Oh yeah, we spotted that as soon as he came out. That's how we knew that he was going to be great. We were like, he's got the Supreme Man warmer. He's in it. He's got it. He's won this. He's squatted up. This is it.
He won from the sidelines
now.
But yeah, no, it was. Yeah, I mean, what do you want me to say? Like it was. If I didn't live 10 minutes away from it, I would have been annoyed that I went. But like someone that I knew, Aaron Conley, has done some work for Sports Tank in the past. Hopefully, he can come back on. He got the train up from Hertfordshire to watch it. Now that I wouldn't have done.
Ain't that far? Hertfordshire to Coventry. What's that? An hour?
Yeah, I mean, the
No,
Bobcats,
like 2.
Is it?
Yeah, but they were playing.
No, there were Bobcats there supporting as well.
Yeah, but you had local people playing. Ooh, Visor. Ooh, very spicy.
Quality.
To be fair, I have heard that if you do put a visor on, that does add 5 to your throwing accuracy. It's like if you wear a tap out shirt in public, it instantly makes you 107% tougher.
Oh.
Everyone fucking knows that.
See, interestingly, I think visors that like even the ones that are see-through, they're a pain in the ass for a linebacker to try and read the eyes of the backs. So, like, especially the quarterback, right? You want to see where he's looking. Visors, man, you get a lot of glare on them, and they're a pain in the ass. So actually, there is a playing benefit to it. Although, if you try to look the other side of it, if you're trying to look someone off, it's going to be a lot more difficult. So, yeah, do what you will. But yeah, I often read.
I think you've just like told Alfie to buy a visor there. Really.
Yeah, you just have told Alfie to buy a visor.
Maybe convinced him. I don't know. It's up to him. But like, it's harder to look players off. But as a linebacker, I'm always reading like, obviously what the linemen are doing with their feet, you know, and how heavy they are on their stance, and then where everyone's lining up, where they're leaning to, what they're looking at. Always looking for any sort of like clue. Obviously, what they're saying. The Britball teams like to do this. The like shout Lucy a lot, which means the line are all gonna block to the left, or Richie or whatever like that. They'll shout a word that begins with Al or R.
Rock and solid was mine.
Yeah, and you're like, as a linebacker, I'm like, well, okay, I know which way you're gonna block. I don't really know which way the play's gonna go, but you could. It's going to be a tendency thing, right? So anyway,
well, we had different ones. It was basically it was people named Bob, so you shout their surnames, and then the corresponding letter. So Sponge.
Yeah, so like, and you just like as especially as a linebacker, you're looking for any sort of tell, right? And I just think. Yeah, when a QB and running backs, they've all got visors on, it's just that much more difficult. But then,
so if linemen have them on, it's just for clout, right?
I don't see why. Well, no, linemen can have them on because they don't want the fingers poking them in the eyes and stuff, and digits in their cage. So I sort of get that. But yeah, it's interesting. Aaron commented here. Always used to wipe a handful of mud over visors, So yeah,
wow.
They're by no means like they're a given. There's pros and cons to them, but like I said, that's one thing. As a linebacker, you're like, where's that bastard looking? You just can't tell. not like sometimes you can, like the light catches it right. You're like, cool, I can see his eyes, but there's certainly plays where you just like, I'm just looking at glare now, like I can't see what's going on. Anyway, so yeah, we'll see how.
But
Alfie
yeah, with
gets
that,
on
with that, ladies and
the-
gentlemen, it was so the South one in the end. It was third and fourth quarter was perfect. Yeah, third and fourth was very good. First half was, not sorry to say it, wasn't very interesting. But yeah, that's it. Uniball's done apart from our awards, and that's why we saved it until last, because we the best. So Senior Ball has started, ladies and gentlemen. It's officially Brit Ball season. And we're going to go through some of the.
We've got a couple of Brit Ball questions already.
Have we?
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, the answer to the question of best score, best team, Ouse Valley won. Unbelievable stuff. Give it up for Ouse Valley Eagles, ladies and gentlemen. What a
that wasn't a question, so I don't know why you've asked it.
No, it's a question that everyone has.
Yeah. What, best score or best result of yesterday?
Yes.
Is that what you're
Yes.
looking at? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Best
Some
team.
massive score lines, though.
There were some very big ones, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and that sort of plays into one of these questions, actually. Should we start there?
Yeah, go on.
Sean Phelan has said, how does the panel, which is quite nice to be called a panel. Thank you, Sean. I think the Samwell will do based on yesterday's game. And will Manchester be the cat amongst the pigeons? I assume at the top level, right? Are they going to cause? They're going to cause a bit of trouble for the established teams at the top. So let's start with that first bit. So prior to that result, I already had Samwell down as in trouble this year. They've had a lot of problems off the field last year. They've had a couple of head coach changes. They're not the team that got promoted in 2019, unfortunately, because they were brilliant. They had that undefeated season. They were class. I really like Samwell. I just don't see. I just don't see that. I think they've been changed to a degree that they're outclassed now in the Prem North. That's my view. What do you guys think?
I mean, I don't know a lot about Sandwell. What was the score?
77-0 to Manchester.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna, that is the full extent of my knowledge of Sandwell right now. But
right, okay, cool.
If you want my opinion based on that, then
yeah, go on.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting take, actually.
If you want my opinion based on that result, and unless Manchester, but the way he's asking, are Manchester cat amongst the pigeons? I'm guessing they weren't pegged as one of the top teams.
No, well, actually, they were in my. I think reading back for like who the Breens are like our analysts for Britball. I think the Breens have had them down as like the second best team in the country, above Tamworth, which
right.
A lot
I
of
remember that got me. Yeah.
I just think unless Manchester are going to be like the UE of Britball, where they're putting up score lines like that every week, then I'm sorry to say I think Sandwell might be in the mud a little bit.
Yeah. Tebs, what's your take on both of those games?
I always want to try and give the benefit of the doubt after the season that I've just had with my Arctic takes, but 77-0 is a bit dire. If I remember correctly from last year, Manchester were doing bits last year as well.
Oh,
because I remember like the Tyrants and the Titans, they were both, I was getting confused between them, but I remember the Titans did very well. Sandwell's last season, 2-5. It could just be the start of a downhill slide. Again, it's to put them.
They're in trouble.
To put them
0-10.
To put the Titans over Tamworth is interesting. I think that'll be the game that will decide whether or not the cat is amongst the pigeons.
Well, that game is this Sunday, so we'll get that question answered, or an answer to that, a certain answer to that question this weekend, which is going to be brilliant. So that's that. We won't have to wait long to sort of see the impact. I mean, I still think Tamworth have the edge over Manchester. I also have got a lot of respect for Manchester. Manchester are the archetype of how you should set up and run and grow as a club. Over like 5 or 6 years, I think they've got more club members than any other club in the UK. So as in like, youth set up, they've got women's. Obviously, they've got senior team. They were going to have a second senior team, but that fell through. But look, they've got plans to have a second senior team, I assume. Still, like they're an aspirational club in the way that they everything off the field is run, but obviously on the field they're doing it as well. And it's sort of like those two things in tandem have come together for them. And I think people should be looking at Manchester as like the archetype of like how this is how you run a club. This is how you set something up to last a long time and get constant revenue and player streams into the success of the organization. So I got a lot of, but I still think like I massively admire Manchester, but I don't think that they are better than Tamworth on the field. We'll see. I would love it. I would love it if Manchester are at that level now and they're competing. It's a competitive game. That would be quality.
I think they must be. I mean, if you're putting up if you're putting up a scoreline like that, I mean, they clearly have that relentless attitude. They didn't slow down when the game was won, clearly. But I think part of me wants to say, like in Sandwell's defense, like there are teams before that have had a heavy first week loss and have come back. But like Ray says, when the scoreline's that big, I really don't think they can make a comeback.
No, they're going out. That's if they finish the season. I think they're in danger of not even completing the season.
Really?
Like, I think it's that bad there. Like I don't have any insights to this, but it's just it doesn't look good. It's looked bad for them for a while, and I don't want them to. Obviously, you want every team to finish all their fixtures and stuff, but I just like if they start getting injuries, what incentive have you got to sort of play? If you genuinely can't compete, what's the point? I just think that might be in a situation where that they may actually end up forfeiting games, which won't go through which you posted about on Sunday, Tebs, won't go through the yellow card, red card protocol, because BAFA have now changed that and removed it so that teams can forfeit and not have such hefty punishments, which is a load of shit, in my opinion. Anyway,
so on to like big. Sorry, go on, Hayden. No, all yours.
The second part of that question about the cat amongst the pigeons. One of my coaches, Alex, has messaged me. He says he thinks the Titans would beat the Warriors after playing against them.
The Warriors.
Yeah.
So, they wouldn't meet until the playoffs, but nah. Has he played the Warriors as well then? Because I consider the Warriors head and shoulder above everyone else. It would be cool if there was. Because Alex
played the Warriors on Sunday. That was because he's wide receiver coach at Thrashers as well. Yeah.
And the Titans are better than
the Titans would beat the Warriors, having played against them on Sunday.
Yeah, wow. Okay. That's interesting.
Well,
I mean, obviously he's got better first-hand experience than any of us here, but I still think that the number one is the Warriors. But we'll see how it plays out. This Sunday is really interesting. Imagine if the Titans shut out and beat, even just by a few scores, they beat Tamworth this weekend. Like that is it Alex, your coach, has got, starts to become a lot more interesting, right?
Well, there's a lot of people that will make those, like in any sport, people will make those kind of hot takes at the start of the season, and then it like comes off. Like I don't know if you guys follow Formula One, but like in the off season, it was like people were saying, like people didn't really have a reason to say Ferrari were going to be really good, but people were just like, I've got a feeling Ferrari are just going to be there this year, and now look at them.
Yeah.
Is
So it's that is interesting. I think that we'll see very soon. The more games that Manchester play, but it's really the games against Tamworth are the real barometer. But yeah, to say cat amongst the pigeons, I mean, I think they are one of the pigeons, right? They're up there, like they're, I think the next step for them is to become the best team in the north, which is by defeating Tamworth, and then obviously they'll have their sights on a national championship, which could happen this year, But I think they shouldn't be thinking about that probably until they get to the playoffs. So, but yeah, it really interesting. It's great that a team like them have done what they've done and they are where they are. I don't think anyone can dislike the Titans. I think they're, like I said, like they're the archetype of what a club should be doing in the UK.
Yeah, they're building this like it's kind of blueprint for other smaller clubs to follow.
Yeah.
So, are there any other score lines from this weekend that you think, oh, that's a little bit spicy?
Yeah, there was the 80-pointer.
Yeah, let me get this up, and I'll put it. So that
I can't remember what he was playing. I mean, I don't know much about Britball. This is the first season that I've ever really known its kind of existence.
What a surprise, Baffer.
I can, obviously you always have like the standout higher score ones, but I think the biggest surprise result this week is Houghton Spartans beating the Shropshire Revolution. Where is that one?
I have a question. So I saw the graphics that went out, and the Bristol Apache team, is that basically SGS but in Britball?
No. Bristol, the Bristol Aztecs have been around years before the longest before everyone. The Apache were their B team, are their B team, but Ben Herod, who's the head coach for SGS Pride and the Bristol teams, Bristol senior team, sort of like amalgamated everything. So they've now got similar logos and kit. So it's like that. They're not one entity, but they're very close. Like, so there'll be a lot of SGS Pride players that are in the two Bristol teams.
Right. Yeah. See, I was thinking this. I mean, again, obviously, I'm new to the Britball stuff, but I was thinking like, surely the Bristol teams are going to be teams to watch out for this year, because you would have thought the UE players and the SGS players would be going to them for the summer.
So I think so. Not really at the Apache level, but certainly at the Prem level. I think they have been massively underestimated by people, and I think they're contenders for the second or third place in Prem South. So they could be playing playoff football this year. That's how good they are.
Well, you'd expect so when they've got all of the Americans that have come over.
They've got the American QB from the Bullets playing for them.
Really?
Yeah, Ivan.
Yeah. This is what I was thinking. I was like, surely the Americans that have come over here to play for UE are just going to stay in Bristol.
Yeah, no. Some of them have gone to Leicester. The Falcons to play, but they're a Div 1 team, so you wouldn't really see them playing the Prem until next year at the earliest.
Yeah.
But, So I think talking point wise, there's loads actually.
But make sure, just remember, if you're talking about Shropshire Revolution, to point it directly at Dom Sims, right?
I just think if I remember rightly, I think the Revs went 7-0 up, and then the Spartans came back, drew, and then obviously went ahead and kept the score there and got the win. That's an away game for them as well, like the Spartans. Like, that's a hell of a result. I had the Spartans in the same. I thought about the Spartans in the same light as I did the Sandwell Steelers, like the team that are going to be lucky to get through the season, and it's a bit woeful there. But they've had their new Hussam, I think his name is, their new head coach, come in, and he's just done an amazing job. Some other interesting ones. I think this is interesting with the Rushmore Knights beating the Bournemouth Bobcats, who they lost to last year quite convincingly. So I'm hoping this is a sign that the Knights are sort of turning the corner and starting to sort of make a bid for Premiership football again after a few torrid years.
That was Farnham before.
Yeah, Farnham, yeah, and it was PA nights and MH nights and all sorts, but yeah, the nights.
So Steve, if I can just butt in for a second, London Blitz. Let's talk about London Blitz, and to talk about the London Blitz, if you look in the chat room, you'll see SJ, who was at the London Blitz game, and as SJ is here, I'll probably go back on Tools Doors because cheeky little SJ, little
no
All Stars
Pride
Championship
Guys
coach, scumbag.
No, I was just an assistant, mate. It was a good experience, good to learn from all those coaches as well. Good day out though, great day out. But
in Coventry.
Coventry's great, mate.
Don't fucking lie to me.
But yeah.
So the Blitz.
Yeah, so I got there for about halfway through the B game, but I was inside talking to a couple of players, so I didn't really see much of that game. But yeah, it was a pretty dominant performance, to be honest. The O's looked like they struggled. They really did struggle. And I think that's a worry. You know, they've got Kent this weekend. If they lose to Kent, you know, based on what I just saw of the Warriors and the Solent score, looks like Solent are, you know, they're here to put up a fight. I don't think they'll go down. I think O's are really at risk if they lose against Kent. Really, really at risk. You know, I think believe their number one receiver, he's been ejected, so he'll miss next week. But I think that might be extended even further just because of the severity of how that went down. That was interesting to watch.
Who's that for the O's?
Yeah, I can't remember what number it was. I can tell you which player he got involved with though. But yes, there was a bit of an alteration on the field, and then a lot of yanking of the face cage, and it scrapped on the floor, and it just.
Did any of the coaches accost the player? That's all we care about.
Didn't. No, okay. They didn't. None of that. None of that.
Boring.
Oh, don't tell us then.
Next, yeah.
No.
Sorry, yes, Jake. Go on.
But yeah, no, it's just good performance from the Blitz. You know, I think they're missing a couple of their receivers still as well. So that's not a full strength Blitz side yet.
Really?
Yeah, so I think they could be. You know, I'm looking forward to that Blitz Warriors game. That could be a tasty one. I think that could be the one.
When is that? Is that coming up soon?
I think it's the 30th of April.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I just ask, hold on, Tebs, are you playing with a knife?
Yeah.
Okay. That's just.
I'm truth be told, Steve, I'm picking my nails.
Let's all have a go, shall we?
Oh my god.
I've only got that because I was rearranging my desk and I needed to cut stuff. I've got some new screens. Anyway, so I like what you said there, SJ, about the O's. I think it's between them, Kent, and obviously they're playing Kent this weekend, so that's good. Them, Kent, and the Thrashers are in a fight for the bottom for relegation, and I think the O's are going to come out the bottom of that. I think the other two teams have got too much in the tank for them. Obviously, you know, that's my take, but and it's not really. It's based on very little intel, but I think Kent are, you know, if they're anything like they were last year, they'll be a very decent side, you know, and
they've got a different quarterback. The quarterback, James Cook, isn't playing this year, so that's a big change for them.
Is he an American guy? Because I remember them saying he had an American QB.
James is British, definitely British. But he does some stuff with the IPP. He helps them out and works with them, I think. So,
right,
but yeah,
okay.
I don't think he's not playing this year.
Right. Okay. So yeah, that'll be interesting then.
Yeah.
So we'll see this weekend. Really, that'll give us a really good barometer for those bottom teams. And yeah, I just so do you think? What's your take on those? Do you agree those are the sort of bottom three in a relegation battle? Or do you think?
And I think
different.
I think what I want to talk about the Aztecs. I think the Aztecs are really going to surprise people.
I think they may be playoff bound.
They've got a brilliant DC. They've got a lot of UE bullets guys from that defense there. I think it's going to be hot. And obviously you got Ivan at quarterback. It is going to, and I think, you know, I don't know, but you know, the potential. They've got the Pride running backs as well.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? It's like because the
It's just-
Pride and the Bullets are going to hate each other next year, like probably already do.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like they come together in harmony. It's like playing an international friendly or for an international team. You know, like you play against these players and you dislike them, and then all of a sudden you're playing with them. But yeah, it's
a lot of all-stars. A lot of all-stars are on that team, and a lot of people that weren't at all-stars are on that team that would have been at all-stars if they weren't at GB. So it's stacked.
So Sam,
There
cheers,
you
Sam.
go.
Sam's just said that he works for the NFL player program. Great guy, but very busy at the combine. Cool. Cheers for confirming, Sam. Appreciate that, mate.
I just wanted to ask do you reckon there are any teams that that kind of struggled this weekend or didn't get the result that you thought they were going to get? And could that have perhaps been that they lost players to the All Stars game?
No, I don't. I can't measure the impact of the All-Star game one way or another.
I think a lot of them were playing still. There was definitely a couple of Blitz guys that were there at all-stars and that played. I think the only result that I think the biggest shock for me, I think, was Cats losing in Div 1. I was really
what a
surprised. by that.
game! 13-15
I was
to the
really
Hornets.
surprised.
Yeah.
You know, I was expecting Cats to probably, smash their way through the division, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
But that looks like
Really?
No, see, I had the Hornets down to win that, so I think I was the only one. I got the piss taken out of me, but here I sit as a victor.
I'm 10 minutes away from Cats, so I'll probably go watch them at some point and check out what's going on down there.
Yeah, they're a great side. They're great. Like that result doesn't define them, and in fact, it's a 2-point game, right? Like that doesn't show the better side. I don't think.
No.
Like in that sort of result, it's just who ended up with the most points when the whistle went. You know, like that they could have probably just kept exchanging scores. It was that good of a game. So yeah, they came off worse in quite an equal fight. I think that's the way of looking at that. So they'll be quality, and it just makes the reverse fixture look awesome as well. Like everyone's going to be really looking forward to that. But yeah, to answer your question, Hayden, I think it's funny. I've already sort of answered it by saying how well Holton did. The flip side of that coin is how badly Shropshire did compared to expectations. I had that as like a potentially 50 burger and a donut the other side. Like I didn't think Houghton were going to do anything, and I thought Shropshire were going to overpower them massively. So that one was a surprise result. Another one that I was surprised about. I had the Chester Romans down to win. I didn't have them down to win so convincingly against 62-28, and those 28 points. Those points came when you would assume that Chester Romans started to rotate in, so they were like almost garbage time points. So can you really count them? Like it doesn't. I think that scoreline flatters the Nottingham Caesars. Unfortunately, like I think that was a shocker as well for me. Seeing that, and again, that was another one. I think the two other lads on the Game Day Live, they both called for Nottingham, and I went for Romans. But I'm pleased to see the Romans do well because they did so well last year. They're a team
We should talk about their last year, their big stat last year.
127-0 against the Lee Miners, just a ridiculous game. I think it's the highest scoring game from a side post Mercy Rule introduction. Prior to that, the highest score was 144 or something like that. So
what's
they
the
didn't
Mercy
quite break
Rule?
the Mercy Rule is when you go running clock after a team goes 35 points or more ahead.
It's pretty shit. I don't know why. I don't know why it exists.
It's crap. I hate the Mercy Rule. I think it's ridiculous.
So there are teams that won like the 77-0 one with the Mercy Rule.
That's what makes it more
bonkers. And what you'll probably see is that most of those points were scored in the first half, like 50 of them, roughly. Yeah. And in the second half, it's like unless they're scoring all sides of the ball and not running the ball at all, which is what happened with Lee Miners. Both teams were just passing the ball, so there was hardly any time coming. Both teams were just passing the ball, but they were scoring all sides of the ball. That's what I meant to say. So they were getting pick sixes, they were scoring kickoff returns. It was just like constant. So 56-0 to Manchester at half.
Wow.
Sam said 57. 9 different TD scorers in the game.
That is
So yeah,
ridiculous.
like and the thing is, the reason I hate the mercy rule is that Manchester are like nice big squad, right? And they've had an opportunity to get game day time taken away from them. The team could go 30, 40 points up and then start rotating players in. And I'm not saying they didn't do that, but and let's say they did do that, right? Which I assume they would have done. Those players that come in, and they must have done to get 9 different TD scorers, by the way. But those players that are coming in don't get the amount of game time that they should do if the mercy rule wasn't there. I just think the mercy rule is a bit of a cop out. So I'm not a big fan of it. But I'm not a big fan of a lot of things in Britball. But another one that I was surprised about. So Inverclyde Goliaths 8, Northumberland Vikings 46. Inverclyde just seemed to have fallen off a cliff with their performances last year and this year. They were like a powerhouse. They were like the West Coast Trojans, basically went and reformed into a new side, and I think they steamrolled Div 2 their first year. They literally, I think they went undefeated and just smashed everyone about. And then the pandemic 2021 season, they just weren't as good. So I thought, they'll be all right this year. Like get the players back who are decent. Doesn't seem so, that's not to take away from Northumberland. Northumberland have been a team that are constantly on the up, doing everything right. Very similar to Manchester Titans, just getting better year on year, recruiting people properly, not looking at short-term fixes. So they're a good side, but I just wasn't expecting it to be so one-sided in that game. A 38-point differentiator between the two. So those are all the results that I would sort of call out. The other one, Northants Knights 39, Hereford Stampede 6. Northants are another team that are like doing well and doing things correctly. I don't see that as it's a good scoreline for them, but I think Hereford Stampede are particularly poor. But it's good to see a new team doing well, because normally new teams, they don't really get over 20 points in a game. Like for a couple of years, it takes them a while to start to, I don't know, like really perform. So it's really good to see a team do that, but it's really against the team who they did it against makes it a bit more questionable. But they're a decent side, and they're definitely one to look out for. They're probably favourites to win their division. So that's my takes on week one.
What about the Wembley score? That was quite a big. That was a big scoreline.
That was an interesting one.
That was a big scoreline.
To shut out Sussex at home as well. Away. It was 30-0, wasn't it? The score? Yeah. Now Sussex had a lot of trouble last year, and they've had trouble this year already with having to merge their B team into their A team. They had a lot of coaches leave. They had a lot of players leave. Ian Ellis, the head coach, he's announced this is his last season, beginning of this season. So I was hoping that was going to be like, go out of a bang, like, do it for the coach, and everyone sort of, I'm not saying they didn't try their hardest. Obviously people want to win a game, but to lose 30-0 at home on your first game of the season is not good. At the same time, Wembley Stallions have been improving year on year for about 4 or 5 years now, and they are worthy of those sort of performances. So, they're another team that's sort of hitting its stride, and we should see some great things from. They're really nicely positioned, Wembley. They're right in West London, so you can get the Central London people, South, North London, maybe not East, bit tougher, but you can get those outside of the M25 and the West of London going in and playing for them as well, which you do have people from like Margate and High Wycombe, all that area. So they've got a really nice catchment area of players, and I think they're going to have a winning season. I don't know what about that. I think it's a bit too early to talk about post.
I think it'll be their best season in Div 1. I think so far they've been 5-5 every year. I think particularly they had a very revamped defense this year, as far as I'm aware. There was a lot of players leaving, going into GFL. One's in the GFL. Some have moved on. Some have just stopped playing. So for them to come out with that scoreline is, huge. Great result for them.
Sean just said, I think the change of head coach at Hereford after Paul Kent left has regressed them. Okay, that's interesting. Was there anything else? This one was quite funny. I don't know if you guys saw on the live stream yesterday. We posted a picture of the Farnham Knights. The Rushmore Knights pitch, their field.
Oh yeah, I
Track
saw
on it.
this. Yeah,
That was quite funny. So someone just brought that up. But I don't know. I think Ted, where you gone, mate? I think it's still playable, but should we have a look at it?
Mo plays for the Bobcats. The guy that just put that comment in, and
Right.
he sent a photo to all of us yesterday. He was like, I can't like see the lines because you got the
Yeah.
athletics track on the pitch.
Yeah, and it's the same colour.
obvious. Yeah,
It's funny. We put some pictures up of it yesterday. It is bad. I mean, that's a school ground, so they're not going to be that fussed. So
it's Britball though, isn't it? Like it's not going to be.
as long as they get, I think, obviously the rest would have assessed it, said yeah, it's all good, But
Yeah.
it'll probably be in the BAFA report. Look at Tebs, you froze on a really funny place then. But yeah, I think you'll have it in the BAFA report.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like these teams aren't like they're not like funded heavily. Like they've got to make do with the pitch they have. It's like, I don't think that because as far as I'm aware, Britball teams are independent teams.
Most
whereas,
of them are all owned by the club.
Yeah,
The club members themselves.
Yeah, and I think that's with Britball. It's going to be. I feel like you see a bit more of that with Britball as the year goes on. But you have like Uniball teams. They're supported by their unis, and unis have sport grounds. So it's like you're not going to see that so much with uni, and I think a lot of people. I don't know. I feel like I think the Div 2 and Div 1 teams in Britball, they haven't got a lot of funding. So I feel like you're just going to have to make do with it at quite a lot of places, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely, mate.
Whereas like obviously the Prem teams have their Astros and whatnot. But I think most of them are partnered with
some. You get some. You had like the Houghton Spartans for years playing in a stadium and they're a Div 2 team. So you do get your anomalies. It's sort of is based on the commercial success of the business of the business side of the team.
But like teams that are near, kind of Div 1 and Prem Uniball teams, they have access to those Astros, don't they? Like the Thrashers, they play at Test Park.
Test Park, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyone can have access to anything. It's just sort of it's down to the club really. But you typically get the higher up in the leagues the team are, the more the better facilities they've got. And,
it's like the Warriors. They play at Greenwich's pitch.
Yeah. Oh, is that where Greenwich Mariners play?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's where we had Britball final as well. The last one, I think.
Happy hunting ground.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we're done. Well, actually, let me just have a look at the fixtures for the next week. The ones that I think stand out: Essex Spartans and Cambridgeshire Cats, the Stallions versus the Blitz, just because both teams won. I would have said Falcons Shropshire, but I think that's going to be a bit of a bust after week one. I think everything in the Prem. So you've got Solent versus the Blitz. That'll be a nice barometer one where actually are Solent in compared to the Blitz. The Blitz just blew away like 50 points, wasn't it, roughly? The O's. The O's are playing the Exiles. That's a relegation battle right there. And then the Titans are playing the Phoenix, which is the top two teams in the north. So I think those the teams that in the Prem, the games in the Prem are really exciting this weekend for different reasons.
If I were to ask your way too early season predictions, who's winning the national championship?
London Warriors.
They are inevitable.
Yeah.
You don't think a North team can be there?
Well, they'll be in a final.
Well, obviously North team's going to be in the final, but do you reckon the Warriors are going to do what the Warriors have done in the past, or do you reckon it will be like a UE Bullets kind of thing where they
I would love it if it was
they struggle.
like, well, the Yui Bullets kind of thing means, that we do all expect it to be one-sided, and then it's not. Right? Like that would be awesome. But I can't see past the class of the Warriors. They've got, like you were talking about, like teams feeding into them or feeding into other teams. Well, London Warriors have got the NFL Academy.
Did it?
Yeah, the same head coach, same coaching staff.
Yeah, like I said, I don't like Brit Ball is something I need to start reading up on.
Yeah. We'll teach you, mate. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the same head coach for the London Warriors as the NFL Academy. They've got ridiculous talent pool. The London Warriors always had very good squad numbers anyway. They run. I know I've known a couple of the Warriors over the years, and one of the things I remember being told once was what they do is that there's like performance players, so everyone pays to play, and it's quite high subs because of where they are. Like we're looking £400-500 a year to play for them. It all in that is with like because they pay like subs and then game fees and stuff, right? So, or they did. I don't know. Someone may come on and say no, the London Warriors don't do that, but that was what I know. That was what I was told about them. And but they've got performance players who join, and they're there to sort of win games to vie for position on time on the field and moving up the depth chart. And then they've got players that join just to be coached. So like they're not joining with an expectation to get much or any game time. They're there to just be brought on and be coached by the best coaches arguably in the UK. So they end up with like ridiculous sized squads, but yeah, like there's this like knowledge of like you are not going to play for us, but we absolutely will make you a better player, which is I think that's quite interesting. So if you think about that, it's not a B team, but they've got this huge talent pool of people that they can pick from, that they're constantly working on year after year, bringing people through. Plus, they're in London, so they've got great catchment. There's multiple colleges in London that can feed into them. Brunel, KCL, sorry, City of London, tons of them. Plus, they've got the NFL Academy. Like they're going to stay formidable for a very long time. I can't see past, like, regardless of any hype, I can't see anyone beating the London Warriors.
Fair enough.
That's my take. Would I like it? Like, yeah, man, I would. And again, not because I dislike the Warriors, but I just love the competition. I love competitive games, competitive leagues, that excitement. But
everyone loves a little underdog story as well.
Yeah, but you're right. But the London Warriors are a cut above everyone else. I think ideally they should be looking to go into the EFL. I don't know. I don't know if that's on top of playing in the British League or instead of playing in the British League. But they're the flagship team in the UK, and they should be playing against the big boys of the EFL, in my opinion. I know that's sort of like a big money sponsorship thing. I'm not trying to get into solving that, but like that's how good they are. They can go toe to toe with the best teams in Europe.
Yeah. Fair enough. I'm not.
No, we'll see. We'll see him get smashed this year, sure.
Yeah, you watch the return fixtures. Second half of the season, they just lose their steam. The Cardinals lose their steam and get obliterated.
Tebs, they want another look at your curtain, mate.
Yeah, Dolphins turquoise, mate. Exactly what it is.
Cool. Right. So yeah, I think we're done for Britball. What's next, Ted?
Well, it's whether or not SJ wants to talk about his experience at All Stars, seeing as how he was a coach.
It was it's brilliant. The players you get to work with. For me, it was quite an interesting one because I'm studying at Loughborough, but my home is the south. I'm closer to the base down there, so I was obviously on the south. But I think that's one thing I do want to say is Loughborough took 12. I think it was 12, 13 players.
11 they took.
11. That's more than any other
and 4
uni in the country. I think it's 4.
Yeah.
That's more than any other uni in the country. So credit to them. And I think all of them bar one is coming back next year, so they're going to be one to watch, I think. But yeah, in terms of the game itself, the South dominated. I mean, second half, Alfie Burks I will praise that man. He's got a very bright future ahead of him. Same with Alex Stocks. It was great to work with those guys. I was working with Sam Chance from Portsmouth. It's just such a great experience, and I really do urge anyone. Some people probably look at it and go, "What's the point?" There's GB under-19s, there's the seniors. Get involved. It's great whether you're a coach. It's great if you're a player. It's just a lot of fun. I mean, it is if you're on the South. I'm not sure if it was for the North. But
well, if I remember rightly, the first one of this regenerated All-Star games went to the North. I think the North one.
South won the last. No, South won it.
Oh, did they? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Go South.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I thought it was 1-1 now, but it's not. Good.
Yeah, South. So, yeah, it's interesting. I think there was a lot more Prem players in the South, but I don't think that's not an excuse for the North not winning it. It's sometimes you just got the better players. It's just the way it is. Maybe it's encouraging those universities in the Prem in the North to get their players in and get them involved. And because there was no Sterling players, I think there was maybe 1 or 2 Notts players.
Yeah, why was that?
Yeah.
Do you know?
I think a lot of the Notts players are playing in the GB team, so it's fair enough.
Oh, what? So if you're in what, GB students or GB seniors?
GB seniors, I think.
So if you're in GB seniors, you wouldn't qualify for the All-Stars. Is that?
I think you can, but I think they were just like, there's no point. And
Gotcha.
Like at the end of the day, with the season they've had, I'm not surprised they want to break. It's
Yeah,
a
fair enough.
long. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. But then it's funny because someone made the suggestion, and I really like the suggestion, was that to do it similar to like the way the NFL do, where teams you get to be told which teams are like a Pro Bowl type or an All-Star type player. Because at the moment, like those players and everyone that got the honors of playing All-Star were those that were actually available and good enough. Whereas there were a number of those that were made unavailable for different reasons and good enough and didn't get any sort of recognition. So I think that would have been quite cool if they, in the future, if they do like, and you could even do it as like a Pro Bowl type thing where you've got that gap between the semi-final and the final of Uniball, you could play that game. Fair enough, the 2 finalist teams wouldn't be able to play in it, but that's the same with the Super Bowl. At least those players would still get the honors. I thought that was a really. I just read it. Someone had that idea. I thought that was a really good idea, because it's a shame that for whatever reason, like you said, that these players are good enough. They're not available, or they're not. They're not playing in it. They don't get any recognition for it.
They didn't even have to do it between the semi-final and the final. There was a week between the final and Britball starting.
Yeah.
That they could have done it.
Well, whenever,
There's such a small gap. There's so little. That's the thing. Trying to put it in is just difficult.
Ketch has just come out. Let me read this. So he said, do we reckon that up north, you have to compete more with rugby union league players for recruitment compared to down south? So have we got we got the rub of the athletes down here?
I think
compared to up north.
I'd say no. You've got big universities down in the south that have got these players. You've got Exeter, Bath, even Brunel now. Brunel are going to be an absolute powerhouse with their Ealing partnership in the next few years. There's a good lot of rugby universities. Yeah, they're partnered with Ealing, so they're going to be.
I played for them.
Oh, really? Nice. But they're going to. Yeah, no, I don't think everyone's competing for the same players, no matter where you go.
Sorry. I think
you're Hayden. I thought you did the old bullshit thing, and then you know what I mean? Like,
I think the South teams have to deal with rugby as well. Look at Gloucester Uni, for example. Like Gloucester are in our division. Gloucester's a pretty big rugby uni, as far as I'm aware. Because they've got a Premiership rugby team near them. I'm pretty sure there are South teams, and like Exeter have a decent rugby team. They have to deal with having rugby, and Exeter had a great season anyway. I do think South teams still have to compete with rugby, and like even from my experience with the Bobcats at the start of the season, we had players coming to the early sessions before the kind of the selection for rugby, and then there were players that stopped training with the Bobcats to go and join the rugby team and such.
I was more about senior ball.
Ketch,
Oh,
well,
right.
he said that, but I think so. I can deal with this one. The seasons overlap a little bit, but they don't interfere with each other. Like most of the senior teams play on rugby pitches in their off season over the summer. So, like when I first started playing Britball in 2006, I was playing rugby as well. Carried on playing rugby. So there was a couple of weekends where I had a rugby game on a Saturday and a Britball game on a Sunday, and that wasn't nice. But yeah, I don't know that there is that heavy level of competition. I think we're competing with those players maybe wanting to just enjoy the sunshine and not be running around in kit. Just sort of used to that cycle of the off season being when you enjoy your time and relax with your family or whatever, your friends. So that could be it.
I think that, I mean, as far as I was aware, anyway, with rugby, it was,
Go Ray.
but as far as I'm aware, I thought rugby was, I mean, I'm obviously not an expert on it, but I thought that rugby was a bigger thing in the south than it was in the north.
No.
No.
Well, rugby union is the bigger sport in the south.
Yeah.
And rugby league is bigger up north, but rugby is it's definitely bigger up north, like on the whole.
Well, yeah, no, like I said, I'm not trying to be smart about it or anything, but I like if you look at the southwest, it's like there's not big football teams there. There are big rugby teams. There's not big football teams.
That's a good point. Yeah, but yeah, well, yeah. What's the best football team in the West? Plymouth.
Plymouth, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So,
disgraceful.
Whereas
That
you
is
have like
disgraceful.
Exeter and Gloucester, all like Prem
Bath.
teams.
You could probably count Bath, could you?
Yeah, Bath, and it's the same with league. Like Bath have an excellent league team as well. So I think, yeah, I don't know. I disagree. I don't think that it affects him.
Pete's popped out of Bristol City. Obviously, you got to make sure you say the cities of everyone that's watching, otherwise they get upset.
Yeah,
I think he means Bristol Rovers.
Southwestern London is rugby union hotspots.
But then again, football's a massive thing in London as well. It's just that it's London. It's massive.
Yeah, millions of people there. It can handle anything.
Yeah, and even with American football, you look at the Prem South. I mean, most of the teams in Prem South are London teams.
Bristol is the most rugby teams in the country at grassroots level. That's interesting. And
Yeah,
they also have the
if you-
most successful American football teams in that area.
Yeah,
like
but that's
capita or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at the concentration of talent and great teams in that area is ridiculous.
it's a weird question then, isn't it? Because if you think about it, like he's asked, does the South have to compete less against rugby teams for senior ball? But I would say they have to compete as much as the North teams, but then at the same time, like the South teams seem to be able to deal with it very
It just
well.
sounds to me like a northerner clutching at straws, trying to validate a loss.
Because he knows London are coming for him.
Yeah, yeah, he's scared.
And we're
Another
competing with
scared
cricket, mate.
northerner coming out with nonsense, telling you. If I used to work down a dockyard in Portsmouth, and it's full of northerners because of the Navy, right? And all they ever did was moan about what Portsmouth was like and how bad it was and how much better it was back where they lived. And we used to always just say to them, just fuck off back there then, mate. No one's keeping you here.
I mean,
they're
he's
very proud.
laughing at us for alcohol, at least.
The what? Sorry?
Alcohol prices. He's laughing.
Well,
there.
everything's good up there. Like housing prices, it's great. You can live like a king.
Yeah.
The problem is you got to live up north. So yeah.
Always cold, always grey.
Yeah.
No, my mum's side of the family are from Sheffield, so I can get my nan and granddad in a room right now to argue with you if you want. But
Yeah, well, my brother spends most of his time in Sheffield. He's lived there for about 10 years. He's moved away for a bit now, but he's going back. He loves it there. But I think my he probably got like undiagnosed Asperger's or something. I'm not sure. Anyway, Tebs, what we got next?
Well, we were going to have, like, Hayden brought up that the Bournemouth Bobcats have got their varsity against who is it?
Solent Red Hawks.
Solent Red Hawks.
Red Hawks. I always get confused between the Stags, the Red Hawks, and the Thrashers.
I called them the Seahawks the other day, but that's the junior
That's
team.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your varsity like? Are you getting Aggie at Solent? Tell me more.
Ketch just said he's actually a southerner who just lives up north. Best of both worlds.
All right. I would.
I mean, Portsmouth is a shit. Sorry, I was going to read. These are people who react. We see it slower because there's a delay, like a 20, 30 second delay. I just want to make sure people have their moment. But I agree with your points on rugby down south. Yeah, cool.
Thank you.
Anyway, sorry. Go on, Hayden.
Stick it up. I mean, it's a weird one. I think the guys on my team are very excited. And if Ray's still listening, he's probably typing a comment as we speak to put up. But no, I think there's a lot of kind of hype around it. Everyone's still excited. Like, our season's over, but at the same time, it's not. There's a lot of excitement. I don't know. What do you want me to say? I think, yeah, there's a rivalry.
Fucking call them out.
Okay, right. Well, Solent. I mean, look, we weren't playing our best game when we played them in the regular season, and look what happened. They were 14-0 up, and we won 21-20. And I think the guys, everyone's gotten along better. Everyone's clicking. Everyone's become a bit more of a monster as the season went on. I think kind of during our game against Gloucester, a lot of players kind of suddenly went and like they kind of, like a lot of the guys are first time playing American football, and I think they kind of figured it out as the season went on. And then in the playoffs, they just turn into demons. And I just think if they want me to call out Solent, then I do think we'll win.
Are you in your
How
first
much?
year?
Why? A billion. So, sorry, go on. Answer Sam's question.
I am first year, yeah. So I've not had to
I can tell.
before.
Yeah, in about 3 years' time, you're just going to be saying "fuck Solent." That's how it goes.
Well, yeah, but I don't want to.
I got a message from Solent.
I don't know if anyone from Solent's listening, but the Bobcats are coming for you. They have to come.
Say Bobcats by 127. Go on, just say it.
Do it.
Go on.
Even with the mercy rule.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do it. I'm going to record this right now.
Go on.
All right. Shout or nothing then. No, I will let the senior teammates talk for the Bobcats. But
No, go on. Give me a score prediction. Go on. Cheeky little score prediction. Go on.
For our varsity game.
Yeah.
You guys are goading him. Coach Rainey.
Of course we are.
He's going to lose his mind.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it will be a win. Yeah, this is what I was trying to say before you were telling me you coming after me to call him out. The way that game went in the regular season, it kind of got a bit like, I don't know, the rivalry really kicked in like halfway through that game, and I think we upset quite a few Solent players with the comeback. I think they genuinely thought they had that game on lock after the first half, but we didn't give in. We won, and I think that the team has gotten stronger. And I think, having had the playoffs, obviously Solent haven't played since January.
Small dig there.
Yeah, well, they didn't make the playoffs, did they? I mean,
keep it going.
They haven't played since January.
Go on, say to him, did you enjoy your February off? Go on, tell him that.
You must have had a lovely Valentine's Day. You had loads of time to plan it.
Yeah.
They had a nice little holiday. I think that the Bobcats are ready.
Do they care as much about this rivalry as you do?
What, Solent?
Yeah.
I expect so.
Is it a reciprocal?
I expect so.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think we did piss them off beating them.
But
then on top of that, they had their little like journey home that they probably didn't like.
But will they? Would they have spent
Hey,
February?
fine,
Lifting
mate,
weights. Like with an effigy of the opposite number on your team, like spitting at him and stuff, and going like fuck you, number 10 or whatever you are.
No,
It doesn't mean that much because that's
it is no, yeah,
that's
because
how I train.
Solent players have been like there were some Instagram posts Solent players out calling out the Bobcats. I think the rivalry's there. They know it's there. Look, I'm a first year. I don't want to turn up to training after Easter break and get like abused by my teammates.
No, one of your coaches is giving you the go ahead to like fucking rip into him. I'll rip into him if you want. So Solent, there's a chance I might be in your div next year, and if the team that I'm going to does play you, smash you 70 points from me alone. That's what I think.
We're a Div 1 team. They're a Div 2 team.
Oh,
here he goes.
Fucking div who? They're a div who
team.
I'll be saying that to you when you're in that division next year, Tebs.
Yeah, true that. Yeah, true that.
It's fucking brilliant. I can't believe we've never come up with that.
But no, the rivalry's there. Solent aren't ready for the Bobcat smoke. I think they'll be rushing touchdowns galore, passing touchdowns galore, pick sixes everywhere. Louis Fabinho's coming after them with the interceptions. Have you seen his changes? I don't know if any of you guys have him on Instagram, Louis, or have seen his Instagram. He's changed his name. Have you seen it?
I don't know who Louis is.
He was on the show last week.
Oh, right, yeah. I do know who Louis is.
So
he was on the show last week.
Yeah, he changed his name from Louis Foligno to Louis Picklino.
Oh, well,
go on, you do it then.
Yeah, go on, Jake. Go on, you get on the show. Someone send him a link. You want to come on and talk shit about Solent? We will provide you with the platform.
Can we get someone from Solent on as well? We'll just leave him just to.
Ray said that they care more than us. Ain't beating us in 4 years. Didn't make playoffs and was forced to watch us celebrate promotion.
Yeah, I mean they did. They're look, Jay, listen to me. Everyone on the South Coast cares. They firstly they have to come back to Bournemouth, to Chapelgate. Not a happy hunting ground for them.
It sounds really scary.
It is. You've never been to Chapelgate, Steve?
No, I haven't.
I don't know what to say because the more I try and trash talk them, the more likely I am to get bullied the next time I go to training.
Just look after yourself, mate. Don't worry about these.
Anyway,
these
so
guys trying to G you up.
You're gonna get screwed. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, that's good enough for me.
Oh. Twisting the knife there.
I don't know. It's. I mean, Tebs, you were saying earlier you have different experiences with varsity, but I do think, like Jake said, this is a. People think, yes, thank you. I like this guy, whoever you are.
Catch.
Yeah,
he's a good lad.
He's now a Bobcats fan, so you know we've
massive. Just to me sounds like loads of priests.
I just need you to comment now. Fuck Solent.
Oh, he's getting a bit fruity.
No, I think.
Oh, very good. Well, that's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Guys.
Yeah, no, I think Solent aren't ready for us. We're at the end of the day, we're a division above them now.
Div who?
Yeah, what div are they in, Hayden? Give me it.
Div who?
Div who? Oh, beautiful. Love it.
Yeah,
it's got a sting. It's got a sting.
I mean, they didn't even make the playoffs either in Div 2.
No, they didn't. But you're definitely giving. You're writing, as Coach Rains will say to you, you're writing their pre-game speech.
Yeah,
you're giving them enough ammunition to get fired up.
If Steve is watching this,
he will be, or he doesn't necessarily watch live. He'll watch it tomorrow morning, and then he'll message me and he'll call me.
Yeah, honestly, I can't wait for a message in the chat in the morning. Why were you trying to make Hayden say horrible things?
Yeah.
Funny.
Don't do that again.
Funny, Coach. It was funny. I'm sorry.
Look, yeah, but the thing is, now I've got the captains have been messaging and egging me on as well. So
Oh, they love it then.
yeah, I'll sit down in our first chalk session back, and Steve will rip into me or something. And,
When is the actual game?
May the 4th, I believe.
May the 4th. May the 4th, a Wednesday, is it?
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, a Wednesday.
Yeah,
Okay.
Wednesday.
What is that, Wednesday afternoon, like a 3:00 kickoff type thing?
I don't know. I just know I
All-
bought my ticket. And
All the
find out.
varsity sports are played on one day, Steve. So that's why it's a Wednesday.
Yeah. So we're 4th of May. So we don't have to travel to them, and we're a better team at the end of the day.
Let me know the time because I might try and pop down to it.
As long as you stand on the Bournemouth sideline.
I always stand on the home team sideline wherever I go.
Yeah. But then, like, you got to be screaming defense whilst we're defending and stuff like that. You got to be cheering us on.
Nah,
I don't care what that bio says about unbiased media. You got to support the Bobcats.
I don't like the Bobcats. No, I do.
Whoa.
Whoa. No, I in fact I don't like Southampton teams because I'm from Portsmouth. So
fine then. So
yeah.
So
no, I've got no problem with it. But I don't know. I try to just sort of stay relatively neutral when I go and watch a game. But,
I don't even know if Solent players listen to this podcast.
Probably not.
Say something like they don't have electricity there.
Yeah. Anyway, what's next, Tebs? Have we got another thing to talk about?
We got one more thing. As I
is
said at
this
the top of the show,
this is the exciting bit.
as I said at the top of the show, we're not doing the Sports Tank Awards this week. We're going to put them out to nominees to get some more feedback from you. We got some good feedback on Instagram. We want even more. We're going to break it down award by award. So, ladies and gentlemen, we strap yourself in because we got the nominees. So, starting off the nominees for the shock result of the year, we've got the UE Bullets versus the Notts Gold, 28-21 to the Bullets in the Prem final. We've got Liverpool Raptors versus the Edinburgh Napier Knights, 24-8 to Liverpool in the Div 2 North playoffs. Then in the Div South playoffs, Greenwich 31, Oxford 6. And one that was suggested on Instagram, Saxons 54, Surrey Stingers 6. That was a lot of S's. Sick of it. And then another one, Derby Braves 25, Sheffield Hallam 60. So these will all be put up and you can vote on which one you like. If your team's not there, well, you didn't make the cut. Grow up. In the best looking social media, we have got the Bournemouth University Bobcats, the Brunel Owners, the KCL Regents, the Newcastle Raiders, the Edge Hill Vikings, and the Kent Falcons. In the funniest social media, we have the York Centurions, the Exeter Demons, the Northumbrian Mustangs, and once again, the Bournemouth Uni Bobcats. Now,
this isn't just because I'm in this podcast, by the way.
No, it isn't. No, this was decided. When I don't listen to Hayden when
you're not that important. You're not that important yet, Hayden.
Exactly. No. So, like, for people that are sat
Hayden, I'm speaking.
Hayden, shush, Hayden.
Hayden, I'm speaking. So, in the best newcomer, this is the best newcomer to the Div. We've got the STS Pride, the Aberdeen Bulls, and the ARU Rhinos. In the comeback team of the year, you've got the Liverpool Raptors, the Div 2 North winning Liverpool Raptors. You've got the Greenwich Mariners who made it all the way to the final. And just because I need to get at least one in there, ladies and gentlemen, you have the Portsmouth Destroyers. And then for team of the year, we have the Nottingham Gold, the UE Bullets, the Bournemouth Bobcats, the Newcastle Raiders, and the Imperial Immortals. So we're going to put all of those up. You can vote on them. That will go into the consideration. Probably sway some of them. But next week we will put them all out. You know, if I don't know what you'll get a nice graphic. There you go. But I think it's important that we cap this uni ball season off.
Oh, Mike.
Hearing you loud and clear in Southampton.
Talking to you, Aidan, mate.
I think so, yeah. I feel like the Southampton. There's like a group chat, and like one of them's been watching, and now they're all.
Yeah, that
on
always
TikTok.
happens.
They're
Things
all
spread
about
on
to,
group
all about
chats.
to come on, and there's going to be war in the comment section now.
They'll-
You've got
they'll
Jake
dis-
and Ray.
They'll do their work. They'll dislike our content.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Well,
Watch
do,
it.
do you really want Solent watching your content?
No, no.
Boo! No. Who?
Nah, the whole city can fall into the sea for all I care.
So we're going to put the graphics up again individually. Please comment underneath. If you think your team has been missed out, please comment below and we will put it into consideration for Team of the Year, Comeback Team of the Year, Newcomer to a division, the best looking social media, the funniest social media, and the shock result of the year. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what you've got to look forward to next week on the rundown. We're going to go through Brit Ball again. But uni ball's over. No more. Can't talk about All Stars or anything. It could just be an hour of me talking about why the Miami Dolphins are both a paradox. They're both shit and good at the
I
same
think
time.
we should use the time to educate Hayden on the senior ball, on how senior ball works. That's what we should do with the rundown from now on.
Oh, by the way, Ooze Valley won, guys. Have I said that yet?
Congrats, man. Congrats. Well done.
I didn't play. That's why they won. Duh. As someone who's
The Stags,
what's his
not the
name?
Red Hawks. Oh, so he's a Southampton Stag.
What the Stags? Oh,
Stags will
The
probably
Stags
face
will- yeah,
Bobcats
Stags will
next
play-
season.
they
Yeah,
are-
yeah.
like,
yeah.
I'm not. We're not coming after the Stags yet. We'll deal with you next year. We're coming up.
Oh dear, with all the social media
Fucking
training,
hell.
right here, it's just all gone.
No, I respect the Stags.
oh, don't. Come
I
on.
respect-
What do you really think?
Do you see that smile at the end? I respect the Stags.
Yeah. Doing the old Thierry Henry like quivering of his lip.
But so if he can comment now, does he want the Red Hawks to win?
Oh, what? Yeah, Mike, let us know. Do you want the Red Hawks to beat the Bobcats? Just think about the tirade of abuse coming your way, mate. If you say,
Oh,
But
mate.
surely, surely he doesn't like the Solent team either. Like they're city rivals.
yeah, it's a derby game, isn't it? Definitely.
If anything,
Yeah, but Southampton, they're probably like one of them cities where they're very together. We're all one.
They're just a nothing city, mate. It's just no one like they don't care about anything there. They're like
Well,
nihilists.
the Thrashers is all right. I like the Thrashers.
They're like nihilists.
Just
Very good.
Completely.
Very good.
complete apathy towards everything. No passion either way. You know?
I'm not going to say I hate Southampton because I like the Thrashers.
Well, the Thrashers. I don't consider them a Southampton team.
How come?
They started off in Andover, then moved to Winchester. They're just they've got a temporary solution in an SO postcode at the moment, but they'll make good and they'll find they'll see the light. It's fine that they're called Solent because Solent does cover both Portsmouth and Southampton. So yeah, they're all right. I like Solent.
Does he want Solent to win?
I referee the varsity for Bobcats. Bobcats and the Red Cats.
Oh, you
The Red Cats and the Red Cats.
No, who's the Red Cats, Mike?
You've just annoyed a ref. That's
mate.
really funny.
Not for the first time in my career. Not for the last time.
I'm talking about Hayden.
Oh yeah.
Well done, Hayden, mate. You fucked off a ref before the game.
Yeah.
Always.
Well, yeah. If you
I'm not. Let's be honest. I'm not
like,
going to the pitch
if the
anyway.
refs annoy you, best thing to do
It's
is
fine.
just
He'll
run
still
into
flag
him.
you. He'll
Just
still
run
flag
into
you,
him on
mate.
a play. Just run into him next play. That's it. Didn't see
I
him,
will not
mate.
be doing
Didn't know he was there. Whatever. Like, just that's how you get back at a ref.
Steve's great Brit Ball advice.
My tips,
Chapter
yeah.
1.
Steve's tips for
Just run into
surviving
the ref.
Brit Ball. No, I'm only joking. Don't hit the refs. The refs
That
are
ref
all right.
annoys you.
I actually
Launch it.
like the refs. I will argue with them if I think they've made a wrong call, but I'll be very polite because I come from a rugby background. So I'm always very polite. But I do get
Just
really
after you smack them.
No, I've never hit ref. I've do you know, I've only ever been ejected once, and that was I got attacked twice back to back on 2 plays, and then I got ejected for it, and I was like, I am the victim.
I'm sure that's
I'm
how
the
it went
victim
down, Steve.
twice.
I'm sure
Here.
that's how it went down,
I've
Steve.
twice been the victim. No, this was sent as video evidence to BAFTA because it was that ridiculous how bad I got basically just got jumped by two blokes. And then the next place someone speared me in the back. And I was like, what's going on here? And then I got sent off.
The ejection, ladies and gents, was for the punch that followed.
I didn't hit him. I couldn't get near him. It was like a big, thing. But I didn't actually hit anyone. I was just going nuts. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And
you can't swear on the you can't swear on the football pitch.
Your nan, you can't, and all that. I don't know what I did wrong. No, I didn't say any of that. But yeah, it was. I just basically stood there with a knife afterwards, waiting for him to come off the pitch, and I just stayed there. So I won. That didn't happen either. But I did miss the game against the O's, which we won, which I was really gutted about. So I did actually get suspended for a game. And Coach Rains banned me from the sideline because I almost got into a fight on the sideline with an O's player that late hit one of our players. I grabbed hold of him. And he was like, what are you doing? You fuck, So, yeah. Steve Rains remember that one. That one did happen. I did almost get a ban on top of a ban. And Coach Rains was like, that would have been like 10 games. Like that would have been an entire season's worth of bans because you were already banned. And I was like, well, I just got to stand up for what's right, Coach. And it wasn't right that he hit him out of bounds.
I'm wondering if Steve will watch this tomorrow and think, I really don't think it's a good idea, Hayden, learning from Steve.
Yeah. Well, I'm one of his most successful players that's ever played for him. So I'm sure he'll look past it. As long as you get the results on the field, mate, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I know. It's just there'll be comments. I'm gonna have to prepare myself.
What number is Hayden? Don't answer that question, mate. That's a trap. He's number one in your hearts, Mike. That's all you need to know.
If there's somebody you don't like on the Bobcats, Hayden, just say their number. Number 62, mate. That's me.
Fighting on the field's only acceptable when the victim is South West Wales player from 2000.
That
Nate,
sounds oddly
Nate
specific.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is.
Number, yeah. Oh, mate, yeah. That's another. See, you've got so much to learn about.
We'll tell you this after.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah, no. Anyway, to Mike, I look forward to meeting you at Varsity. Please don't eject me before the game starts.
Nah, go on, do it. Banter.
Yeah. But yeah, cool. Anyway, right. Sebs, are we done?
So we are done, but just one last time I'm going to go through the nominations for the Sports Tag Uniball Awards, the Team of the Year, the Nottingham Gold, the UE Bullets, the Bournemouth Bobcats, the Newcastle Raiders, or the Imperial Immortals. Comeback Team of the Year, you've got the Portsmouth Destroyers, the Liverpool Raptors, or the Greenwich Mariners. The Best Newcomer, SGS Pride, Aberdeen Bulls, ARU Rhinos. The Best Looking Social Media, the Bournemouth Bobcats, the Brunel Burners, the KCL Regents, the Newcastle Raiders, the Edgehill Vikings, and the Kent Falcons. In the funniest social media, you've got York Centurions, Exeter Demons, and Northumbrian Mustangs, and the Bournemouth Bobcats again. In the shock result of the year, you've got the UE Bullets versus the Notts Gold 28-21 in the Prem finals. You've got the Liverpool versus Napier 24-8 to Liverpool. You've got the Greenwich Mariners versus the Oxford Lancers 6-31 for Greenwich. And you've got the Sussex Saxons 54-6 for the Surrey Stingers. Derby Braves 25-60 Sheffield Hallam Warriors. And that is it. If you could have player of the year, it's you, Dan Johnson. Player in my heart. Unbelievable stuff. But we will see you next week, and hopefully Hayden will not have been kicked off the Bournemouth Bobcats. But even if he is a reason, he'll be here next week with me and Steve, and maybe SJ will be here if he hasn't caught COVID again. Unfucking believable.
Yeah, loser.
Obviously, first thing I said to him when I saw him at All Stars, like, get the fuck away from me, you fucking, you're disgusting, mate.
Yeah. Phil, that's disgusting that you got that. You pervert.
And to be fair,
You paedophile. I can't believe it.
and to be fair, he could have easily turned it around to me and said, mate, you live in Coventry, fucking don't touch me, and he would have been right. Unbelievable.
No, I think I did turn around and tell you to get back in your Div 2 hole.
I think he did, yeah. Yeah, he did.
Div who? Who?
Sam, you can't leave it if you've never left. Now, with that done, this has been the rundown. We will hopefully see you all next week. Enjoy your Brit Ball. If you've got Varsity Games and Daughters as well, whatever you want.
Bye.